Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Thank you very much for visiting me in my home, and welcome to today's episode of Coping with Corona. Now, in my usual life, I actually teach people how they can perform better academically, and part of that is stress management. I know what you're thinking. What do we possibly have to be stressed about at the moment? But just in case you can think of something, perhaps a few of these tricks can help you to moderate your stress levels. I'm taking a video. So, here are a few genuine tricks which you can use to control your stress levels. They're quite funny, because some of them are awfully simple, but they do actually have quite a good effect on moderating what we call emotional affect. Now, affect simply means how emotional you're being. So in other words, if I'm kind of irritated, that's low affect. But if I'm furious, that is high affect. If I'm a little sad, that's kind of low affect. If I'm miserable, that is high affect. So these things help with controlling the level of affect which you've got. And what I like about these is that they're really easy to do. Here is one trick. It's as cheesy as can be, but let's be serious. Who's seeing you at the moment anyway? Literally, imagine that your body is filled with a grey cloud. Any stress that you have fills your body, and you can literally envisage it like a grey cloud, but outside of us in the room is a beautiful, colourful air. So I'm going to picture yellow, just because I like yellow. So it's like liquid sunshine surrounds me, and over the course of at least 4 breaths, perhaps 8, we're going to breathe in so much yellow that we breathe out every single scrap of grey. So, in yellow. Out corona, out corona, out corona. In yellow. Out corona, out corona, out corona. I'm half yellow, half corona grey. In yellow. Out grey. Back here now to yellow. In yellow. And the last grey goes away. Now, here's another trick which is deceptively simple, but it does work. I'm sure that you've noticed that often when people are upset, like when I try not to cry, they have an impulse to look upward. Now, the reason for that is because neurologically, looking up tends to switch off emotion. And so, an easy trick for you to do is to make sure that you're looking up quite consistently. Or if you're walking, just drop your chin so that as you're walking around during the day, you're looking up rather than down. Without you even knowing it, that's going to start switching off that level of emotional affect. Now, generally speaking, I think it's good to know what one's triggers are, why one is feeling what one is, etc. So I don't think this is a substitute for that, but it is nonetheless a useful thing that you can do just to help calm yourself down. One other trick, which is very simple, is if you think of the Mona Lisa. So think of, oh no, it's an Italian in France! No, okay. Think of the Mona Lisa, and of course what she's famous for is that enigmatic little smile. Another little word for the day, gioconde. So the Gioconda, of course, is the Italian word for the Mona Lisa, and if you describe someone as giacondesque, it means that they've got a little winsome kind of smile. Everyone make a half smile. I know you feel strange, but it feels good. Half smiles tend to have the effect of making you feel happy. This is a reverse neurological thing where throughout our entire lives we've learned that these tiny little smiles we make when we're enjoying ourselves are caused by happiness. And so you can actually invert that and produce sensations of happiness with the half smile. Now, I know what you're thinking. Can I use a full smile? No, you can't. Because from very early on, we learn how to fake that. Like, I love this gift. Like, it doesn't work. Full smiles don't work, but the little half smile does work. So, looking up will switch off emotion. Half smiling, breathing in colour and breathing out grey. A few practical things. Regular exercise. I'm not a great fan of exercise, but it is good for you. And the general rule which I like to follow is 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week. If you do more, that's wonderful, but that's enough to help moderate
your stress levels and keep you in kind of a healthy function, and it helps with your brain and flooding your hippocampus with extra blood and oxygen and so on. So that's all useful. Regular sleep. Now, different people will vary in this regard. I usually tell the teenagers that I often teach that you're supposed to sleep 9 hours, minimum of 8 hours a night. Of course, that varies as one ages, so you might be able to do with less. But, especially at this stressful time, be conscious of the fact that regular sleep is very important for you to be able to moderate your stress levels. We all know that. Stay awake for 3 days and you all start going a little bit funny. So, regular sleep is also going to help. Vitamin B, or vitamin B, if you can get hold of vitamin B, that also helps with your stress levels. Then, one other thing which is quite useful is if you are able to apply cold to your face and to the palms of your hands, that reduces stress significantly. So it's a simple trick which people use if you're really feeling out of control. You literally apply cold to your face and to your hands. In fact, I'll get my trusty assistant to fetch something which is in the fridge. And make sure you hand sanitize, and there we go. You can throw them here so that you maintain social distance. Thank you, assistant. You know these ice packs which you get from the pharmacy, and they're gel packs which one uses if you burnt yourself, you can put it on to kind of help. Well, one little trick is that if you get these, make sure that they're not literally frozen, otherwise it hurts you, of course. If you are feeling really stressed, now I'd normally tell students this is the kind of thing that you can actually take into exams. If the school allows you to, you can take 2 of these into the exams, and just to make sure you've written your notes on the side, that can get you expelled. But if you feel that a panic attack is coming on, literally apply the gel packs to your face, applying pressure to your palms, and I think you'll find within 30 seconds or so that your affect will have lowered tremendously. So that's a weird little trick, but it does help with moderating affect. So those are all a few very simple stress reduction techniques which you can follow at the moment. I normally tell students do this in the exam context or when you're studying and you're overly stressed, but I'm going to take a separate video in which I teach you a couple of basic mindfulness techniques. Here, my babies, come out here, and of course, please remember that pets are the most relaxing things in the world. One can't get good help, can one? Okay, next video will be about mindfulness.
Just as a little PS, pets are remarkably stress reductive. And because they have different RNA to us, they cannot carry the virus. I love you, my boy. And then I've also got my queen. Isn't she gorgeous?
One other thing that I meant to say is, everyone, I strongly suggest that you indulge in a little bit of comedy at the moment. Try and find funny things on the TV just to lighten the mood, because it is very, very hard to be laughing and stressed at the same time. Unless you're kind of going, you're going to find that normal laughter switches off stress beautifully.
And hug your puppy.